Hi everyone, it's Silene here. Now, today I want to talk about the stress of being in the wrong job or the stress of not being in a job that you love doing. Okay. Now, I'm someone that's very lucky. I get to do jobs that I love, and I've been self-employed for 20 years, and there's been such a freedom in that. And in many ways, the ability to do jobs that I absolutely love has gave me such a sense of purpose and helped me through so many very extreme challenges that I've had with my health. Okay. And it was not always like that. I was someone that up to the age of 21, I actually had over 12 jobs. Okay, and that there's a bit of a story to it. So on one level, I was someone that was I was brought up in a family business background, the oldest of nine, and I was someone that from a young age was encouraged to work. So there was a lot of things that I got to do. My dad had a factory, and there was different things that we did, and probably I was working at ages I shouldn't have been working at, but there was that element, and then that encouraged me to do other types of jobs, and had all sorts of jobs. From different, like being a sales assistant, telephone. I actually even worked in the baths I was a kind of assistant in the swimming baths. I worked for various designers and designers a dressmaker. I worked for Frasers as a mobile cashier. The list goes on, right? But one of the things that I am so glad that I did at that age was have the courage to move from job to job. I was frowned upon. My family thought I was crazy, and they thought I was someone that was just, in some ways, was I not working hard enough, or I did have a problem with working, but it wasn't that. On one level, I was very highly empathic and sensitive, so very that I was very, how could you say, I picked up a lot of things. It was easy. It was, in many ways, it was too easy to absorb people's energy. So there were certain people that was not a good match for me, that very controlling people, or people that were very demanding and things like that, or that were volatile. It was just too much for me, for my energy. So on some level, I think there was a survival response, and that it was just too much for me. I knew that it was literally be killing me, the energy. There was that aspect. And then also, unfortunately for me, at that point, I kind of knew, but I suppose a lot of people weren't recognising it and maybe didn't see it. I was, a teenager who was moving and had lots of health challenges and was developing lots of complications that maybe people couldn't see in the surface, but were causing me, in many ways, distress. I was developing an eye problem where it became then I couldn't really see mostly out my left eye, and I developed spatial awareness of problems. I had been someone that could I had been had someone, because I was like a dressmaker from a young age, I could cut patterns and work out like space and size. And then I couldn't do these things. And then I started developing lots of allergies to fabrics and toxins. So certain environments became really hard and challenging. And then I started to develop more and more severe problems with exhaustion and back problems and you name it. And it was like as if it was my choices were getting less and less. So I was trying something else, and then I couldn't do that. And that was the way it was going. And then what happened to me was I got to eventually a stage in my life that I actually had to give up everything. And I was very ill for approximately 7 years. And I managed to get some of my life back and started self-employment. But even within my self-employment, there was things that, even though I was drawn to holistic well-being, there was things within all these areas, even though I was very interested in, I realised were not actually my area of expertise, or the area that was really my niche or my greatest skill. And also I found that even within these jobs, even though I got some of my health back, I still had a lot of challenges, and there were some jobs were just never going to be practical. And one of those was being an aromatherapist. I loved everything about essential oils, and I remember doing my training it took me over 3 times to eventually become a qualified aromatherapist. But I didn't have the physical stamina or strength to be a full aromatherapist, and it was the same when I trained in Indian head massage. And I became more a teacher and educated people about oils, and I sold oils, and a lot of my skills, not just in holistic therapies, but in meditation, stress management, and counselling and psychotherapy, I went down different avenues because I was fascinated by these subjects. But I still had to find my groove. In society today, many people, and I see people around about me who are in jobs that don't make them happy. And it's heartbreaking to see, because when people are in jobs that don't make them happy, they are living each day in a very deflated perspective, right? And there's something I think that can be very soul destroying in a way, and we know that that's a word that it's used a lot for people that are doing jobs that it doesn't light them up, and even more importantly, it does not align with their values and ethics. And for me, a lot of the jobs I left with was at core level value and ethics, that I've got quite a sense of integrity about a lot of things, and certain things is important to me. And I couldn't work for certain organisations, and it was even the same when I did contract work and when I hired people to work with me. There were certain things that I just wouldn't do. I mean, and a lot of times people think I'm crazy because I might have offered a lot of money to do something, but if it's going to compromise what I feel is important and my ethics and integrity, I just will never do it, no matter how much money it is. But that's because that's a core part of me, and this is where there's if there's dissonance between what our core is, our core who we are, that creates a lot of conflict within the energy of our body, right? When we try to fit like a square peg in a round hole, again, you are constricting yourself. You're not allowing aspects of you to flow through. So my question is to you today, and even this week, to reflect on this. Are you doing a job that lights you up? Are you doing something that you know that you feel completely, aligned with? Or are you not? Are you doing something that is really taking the guts out of you, basically, right? Now, in my industry, I help coaches, healers, and therapists with their marketing, right? And one of the biggest things that I see is even people that come into your industry. There's a lot of people that I work with who've been in the industry, and they're mostly people that probably get the most out of my work, that I've been in it a long time, because a lot of them are maybe up level and they really want to tweak the audience that they want. They've been maybe experienced healers for at least 10, 15, nearly 20 years, a lot of them. But I also meet people that are new to the industry, or they've been doing it part-time as they're bringing their family up, right? So that it's really in many ways been like a hobby, and they want to then move it to a serious business. A lot of them, you can feel it, they were in jobs they really hated, and they left that, but still they're actually still not in their groove within all these subjects, because some of them sadly come into this industry thinking that it's an easy option, and then they realise it's a lot of hard work, and they don't realise how many people are in certain types of areas. And it does depend on what you choose, and what area of that you want to be an expert or niche in. But what I see is, again, people not finding their groove within this sector. Now, some of us in this sector are more better teachers. Some of us are better healers and mentors. But even within that, there's maybe a niche that is a strength and other areas are not, right? And just because we're trained in something and we can do something, is not where our areas of, what some people would class as your zone of genius, okay, is what you really should be doing on your life and soul purpose. And I think, it's so important that we learn to try and unravel more and more of what we're here supposed to do, because when people are doing what they're here to do, they're so much more happier. they're lighter, they're able to get through the day with less stress and anxiety, and they have better relationships, better communication. Everything in their life gets better when you do a job that you love. When people just focus on security and money, what I find is that people end up spending then most of their money and their security trying to make themselves happy and trying to heal and fix the holes and the wounds of doing a job that is destroying their soul, right? Or destroying them at their core level, right? And I would ask you today, no matter what you've done, and even if you've changed careers or whatever recently, are you doing something that really lights you up? And one of the key things that you can tell if you do, you would do it every day, even if you weren't paid, right? Because I'm someone that is not motivated by money. I got up, and even through challenges when there's been no money, I've still got up and done things that I love, right? And that is the key when you know you're in your groove. Now, if you're a business owner, sometimes that groove changes and something that you loved before you no longer love. And you need to find new groove, and it's time to move into that new groove, right? And if this is something that you need help with, I do offer, there is one-to-one sessions I do offer for that, for particularly mostly healers, right enough, but I can offer it for other people. But what I'm going to say here is really think about, if you're in an unhappy job, what is it impacting your health and well? What is it doing to your relationships? What is it doing to your day-to-day life? I know that this might appear as a situation at the moment where a lot of people saying about job scenarios, look at this, and this is hard. But often we can make changes in areas of our life that sometimes it can be easier than what we think, right? We've just got such a block about it. But I believe that life is too short, and it is important that you're doing a job that you, I suppose, love, and a job that's easy, because when you do a job that you don't love anymore, it gets really hard. And for those of you who are maybe more healers or coaches and therapists, and you are maybe struggling at the moment, and you just think, I'm just not feeling my groove, I Identify Your Soul's Gift course, and at the moment it's I'm sure now what date we're at, we're on the 17th, I'm sure it ends this weekend, but I have a special offer on it, and it's only $9.99, but that will be ending because it's a guided meditation, which is about approximately 40 minutes, but it's a very powerful meditation that helps you get into different stages of your life and it tries to unravel a lot of the gifts that you might not be owning, and things there that are what I believe is part of your life and soul purpose. And there's a workbook that helps you really, really dig deep. The meditation's designed to help you dig deep, and so is this. And I've been very surprised at the comments I've got, but I've had such positive feedback about this guided meditation and workbook. And even though it is aimed more at healers and coaches and therapists, it can be used by other people who are struggling. So even though it is aimed, if you're someone who at the moment it feels, no, I need to change career, it's something I'm going to include the link with this video. But remember, your life is important, just as important as everybody else. And what you do on a day-to-day basis can really give you energy. A lot of people, if you look at people's weight, okay, their addictions from their alcohol or smoking, all these things, these all can be influenced in the day-to-day things that they're doing. And if you're spending how many hours a day at a job you do not love, what do you think that is doing to your mental, emotional and physical well-being? Okay. So have a beautiful week. Bye for now, or thanks, okay? Bye.